Hey, it's Shop Talk, baby. This is the show where it's okay to be you. We're talking from Yale to jail and from the church house to the pimp house. Nothing's excluded on Shop Talk. So if you don't have a phone, I suggest you borrow one. Call in and voice your opinion live every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that's right, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Don't forget to Shop Talk with your girl, because right here, we keeps it real. Good morning. We are getting ready to go live. That is what we're getting ready to do on the social networks. I hope everybody was having a good time this week. And yes, we're going to talk about, today's topic is actually resigning versus termination. Quitting versus getting fired. That's what we're going to talk about. So let's get it started with our countdown. Good morning to my lovely people on the stream. Let's just do it. You're listening to Shop Talk with Mel, and we are ready for the action. Okay, today's topic is resigning versus termination. Just get that out there. Tell your friends, join in. Come on and click with the Shop Talk with Mel, okay? And if you don't know what resigning versus termination is, and you're still sleeping, that's what I mean by that. And you're like, wait a minute, what? What happened? Quit versus getting fired. All right. So let's jump into that. Quitting versus getting fired. Would you two lovely, you know what? Let me do it the right way. I apologize. So let's welcome our co-host, Nyk the Voice. Y'all want to give it up to her? And Amber D is in the building. A round of applause. You heard that? That was like the corniest thing to go around. Yeah, that is so funny, but that's what we do. That is what we do. So, resigning versus termination. Quitting versus getting fired. Y'all know me. All right, I gave it to you the right way. Let's do it our way. Quitting versus getting fired. So, Nyk, what would you do first?
Quit.
Would you? Okay.
Yeah, I will quit.
You go with the quit versus getting fired. What about you, Amber?
Definitely quit, but it would depend on the situation and like the employment, because some places it's better to get fired so you can collect unemployment, or so that you'll have legal recourse if you're going to sue them, like for wrongful termination. So, but most places, most people, you want to quit. Keep it pushing.
What do you guys think that I would do?
Quit.
You think I would quit? Yes, I quit. Y'all keep y'all little change over there, because I'm not going to sit still too long as far as like waiting for unemployment. I just can't. I just got to go. You heard Kim Kardashian? Get working. You don't work enough. Get up and do the work. Remember that? That was last week. Everybody was going nuts because she was on the show. And I can't remember the name of the show. But she was just talking. She was like, get the F up and go to work. That's what she was saying. I understand how she meant it. But some people, old sensitive America, some people felt like, how you going to just tell me to do that? But if you are an entrepreneur, you got to do the work.
You got to work.
And being an entrepreneur, you're usually at home. And you'll be like, I'll work tomorrow. I'll do it this day. I understood exactly what she meant. I did. But, some people didn't receive it that way. They're like, how's she going to tell somebody? And then you go into her personal life. Things was handed to her. Well, listen, she gave you the best advice. Because if something is not handed to you and you have to work for it, you got to put in the work. The end. And eventually, you might not see the benefits right at that moment, but they are going to come. Because let me tell you, your girl was on the Twitter. The name was on the Twitter, the Shop Talk with Mel. Oh, they was at me on Twitter. Y'all gotta check it out. I was laughing. I thought it was so funny. So I played with him a little bit. I was on break from working. And I said, oh yeah, it's all over the place. You ought to see it. I'm having a conversation with Tony Rock. Okay? And my conversation was more so of, I said I'm a brown girl. Now, if you know me, we're brown girls. We're different shades of brown. Okay? Right. So I said, as a brown girl, I wasn't offended by that joke. And remember, we talked about it. Me and Amber talked about it this week. And it's like, okay, we are different shades, but we are the same. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, okay, I wasn't offended. I saw the similarities in it. If you watch the movie, see, I'm sure most of them didn't even watch the movie because they probably wouldn't have took, the negative road of, oh no, that was disrespect. Y'all focus on something superficial. Talking about her hair. I'm looking at the buzz cut, but they both did look lovely in it. I'm looking at strength. I'm looking at woman empowerment where they still focused on the hair. And, that's all I had put there. I was like, I didn't take it offensive. So, they clapped back. Nobody asked you, right? That was the first one.
Oh, that's always.
But wait. I gave the second one. Is that the same nobody that told you to reply? I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Oh, Lord.
So
they don't know what we do.
Right. So they kept going and going and going. And they said, brown girls, you ain't even black. Get off this page.
Do you have a picture up?
Yes, me.
I'm not black.
Right. So I'm laughing and I'm watching it. And my name is like, matter of fact, the Twitter even reached out and let me know. Your name is mentioned in the most commented ever been mentioned.
Oh my goodness.
Twitter was like, okay. I was like, hey, I don't even care. Like, I was like, yeah, this is good. Keep going.
Tune in to Shop Talk with Mel today. Let's get it started.
Let's hear. So I'm on there, but it's going on and on. And then if they click on it, they'll see me. But this is where I kind of looked. I was like, man, this is crazy. So I started laughing. I was watching it. Then there was one comment that actually said, maybe she used brown girl because maybe she's Hispanic.
Right. Just you mean like as a synonym for a person of color.
Right.
Because that's how they see girls refer to themselves.
But we all do. I mean, even when you could say woman of color, you can choose what you want. But brown girl, like, okay, so I don't say black. What's the problem? Hey, that's a black girl. I know what they put on there. Brown. We all inclusive. And
right.
Here's where it took me to, because y'all know I'm going to go there. I said, you have the conversation. I'm sure you guys, with different age groups, but we talk about the Indians and their land being taken and they didn't know they got, all that extra stuff. I'm taking you back to history. I hated history, but I got to do this. Now, you have people to be like, well, they didn't even know. They just came and stole their land. You know that about Indians and all that other stuff?
Mm-hmm.
But so I had that image. I went all the way back to Mr. Holford. 8th grade, so I'm going all the way back. And I said, and I'm watching it because this is my thought. This is where I'm going. It's interesting how, when you read up on that, I'll get into that a little bit later. But when you look at it, white people look at us, brown, black, all as a group. Most, let me be clear, because, I'm out here now. I'm out here blowing up, so let me get... Most white people, they look at us as a group. Black people. Okay? And we look at each other in separation.
We actually do.
We do. And that's what I got from that. I was like, nah, I ain't part of the club because both my parents are black. But I ain't part of, and you look, and I look around, I am an observer. So I said, this feed is crazy. And it let me know that we need a little more help. Is it that I'm not black enough? Because I didn't say that, hey, I'm this. I said, as a brown girl, I got brown skin.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And the podcast is, what is it? The Clear and Uncut Conversations about us. Brown skin. Check that out. And it's like, oh my goodness. So in this little group of me having my conversation, you're telling me that my value or my comment, my voice does not need to be heard because I'm not black. Some strangers are telling me because I'm not black or black enough that my views aren't heard. So I'm just like, man, that's exactly why. Let's take it back to history. Other nationalities look at us as a group. Because let's be real, they sit there like all black people shoot, kill, the whole night. You be like, that ain't all of us. Hold on, not as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But within our race, it's us separating us. But everybody else is looking at us as a group. And here's what's interesting. And we, not all, I'm saying that to cover myself, look at other nationalities as a group. But we don't look at ourselves as a group. Can we wake up? I mean, really look at it, because you'll have that, and you hear over and over and over that we don't stick together. We don't do this. Everybody's trying to be rich. And then you have other nationalities that say we are going to be rich as one. And I'm just using that superficial analogy because people can relate to money. And it's like, how do we grow as one? We don't. And that made it factual when I saw the tweets and stuff, because they went in. And I said, and here's some people that's talking that don't even know me, and how people can get so irritated. And when you're not mature enough, I see, the suicide rate, the young people. That's why I agree with some parents that be like, no, you're too young, because you have other people in their mama's basement. Y'all know I say that. Don't even got a job, laying on the old couch from the 70s, trolling people, trying to hurt folks, hurt folks' feelings. But you have to come back to you and know who you are and understand that they don't even know you. And mine was so minor because they told me I wasn't black. These people that I don't know. So me sharing this is to tell you or somebody out there, when you take things personal online, those people don't know you. So it was probably, I stopped, my break was over. I stopped looking. It was like 60 people telling me I ain't black.
Wow.
And like I'm saying, that was so minor because I know that I'm black, but I guess I wasn't black enough to them. Because
those are the same people that do nothing, will never do nothing, that probably work a menial job and just,
But you know what I said? I said, these are people with low self-esteem, because the things that they attacked me on of me not being black was my hair. They focused so hard on my hair, and they were like, oh, that's weave. Listen, somebody got so deep talking about I zoomed in. Yeah, that's her hair. Light skin, long hair. Now you don't like me, and you sat in and zoomed in. The girl, they seen the gray hair in the picture. I got like one strand. It's the picture where I have blue on and I'm sitting on the steps and my hair's out. I think it's that picture. Y'all done seen the gray hair. I said, my break is over. And I did. And I said, I got to go. My break is over. I was like, happy Easter, silly rabbits. That's what I ended up knowing here at the end. But I was like, oh my gosh. And I looked and I saw what was, and I'm using air quotes for the listening audience, what was more important to them. Instead of the comment, remember the comment? It was, you got to sneeze or you want to say something. I'm going to let y'all talk.
But I got plenty to say. But
go ahead.
Keep wanting to come, but then I'm just kidding. And then I said, Okay, but go ahead, finish what you say.
No, but I felt some type of way because I felt some type of way for my sisters that was commenting on there. And I said, man, I had to pray for them. I put the prayer. I was like, Happy Easter, silly rabbits, and pray for them because you guys are focused on that. But let my comment be my comment. You can say whatever you want to say. But you want to attack my comment because you think I'm not black. Some strangers. So, like I said, listen to me, people. Some strangers I don't know, ain't never seen in my life, probably won't even see. Don't allow those opinions of you destroy you because you don't even know them at all. I ain't never seen these people. I ain't even go to their page because I got too much to do. I ain't interested. I'm not that invested. Okay, go ahead, Amber, with your, let's get Nyk first. Go ahead, Nyk. What's your thoughts?
People are strange. Black folks can be strange. Seriously. I've had all kinds of comments and everything growing up. Same thing, focusing on the hair. You ain't black. You got to be mixed with someone. I got to be mixed with someone. Last time I checked, both my parents were black too. Hello. My daddy hair was nappy and nappy, But because my hair was downright nappy and the type of gray hair I got, I ain't black either. I'm light skinned. I'm a red bone. I'm this, I'm that. Like, okay, but the moral of the story is I'm still an African American, just like you. So what's the problem?
Did Ancestry.com. Look, did Ancestry.com. I was like, oh, Nigerian. Like, it's crazy. But go ahead, Amber. What's your view?
So, I'm going to say that I think there are some valid points made. I think as Black women, it is very important for us to protect our spaces. And especially online, you do have a lot of trolls who are non-Black. Some of them aren't even women coming into Black spaces pretending to be Black women to cause conflict and strife and I can't even think of the word, but disagreement, and so I do think that's real and it happens, and you can pick up on it, and no, I don't think we're all the same, and other groups other groups are unified. And this is something we've talked about before, how other groups believe in recirculating their dollars within their own community, and Black people especially do not. When we talk about, affluent Blacks or Black people with platforms and how they're not giving back to the community, and other people will point that out, the people that are defending this kind of mindset will say, oh, well, they made it on their own. They don't own the Black community anything. They deserve to enjoy the
fruits of their labor.
And you Black people need to stop expecting a handout from affluent Black people. When the reality is, in other minority groups of people, they do invest back into their own community. They do prefer their own. They do prioritize their own. And Black people do not do this. And we genuinely, I'm not gonna get too hard into
No, go ahead. Go with it, honey.
There's a lot of Black men who will sit here and make excuses as to why affluent Black people, Black men, do not owe the Black community anything. So it's a mindset thing. But as far as Black women in particular, yes, I do think we need to protect our spaces. We need to do a better job of protecting our image. There is a difference between a light-skinned Black person and a mixed race person, because that means that more than likely one of your parents wasn't Black, more than likely your mother. So you were not raised, you were not socialized as a Black woman. You did not experience Black girlhood. So it's not the same. So a light-skinned Black woman is not the same as a mixed race woman. And then for the last, 20 years or so in America, you've had mixed race women representing light-skinned Black women or Black women in general. And that has a lot to do with you're replacing our image and stuff, all that type of stuff. But, and then last point.
Go ahead, because I'm coming.
It's in regards to the hair texture issue. A lot of Black people don't. I think there's colorism rampant. There is texturism. There is featureism. You have Black people with more aquiline fine bone features, and so they get praised for that. You have Black people with looser textured hair; they get praised for that. You get Black people with lighter skin tone; they get praised for that. Anything that's closer or in greater proximity to European features is basically the root of that, and why there is this conflict and strife around it. When the reality is, we are a variety of people. We look different, even though we're all the same. We're within the same group, and it's because those particular features are closer to whiteness. And that's why it's like a sticking point. But as far as the whole Jada Pinkett Smith comment, it was about Black women, as we already talked about, and it was about her hair or lack thereof of hair.
Now let me say this. It wasn't about Black women because I was a white woman. Demi is white. So that's the one thing. But if you have 1% Black, you're Black. That's why I say, wait, but you can disagree. It's history. You can look, and I know you read anyway, so you could go look it up.
And that's
but this is
Europeans view us.
Right.
You got 1% Black.
You're Black. So here's the problem. The problem is this. I got attacked because I'm Black. But I'm not as Black, I guess, as people think they are. Look at you, Amber. You're brown skin. So you rocking your dreads, but if you decided not to rock your dreads, then it's like, oh, what, am I not Black enough? Like, who said that you the boss of the Black race? And as far as like helping the Black community, I gotta be honest, I'll help the Black community for them. I'll give them a book. For the people that were attacking me. There's the help just because you don't see anything. And me, if you know me, the people that actually know me, do I help the Black community? Yes, but you can't tell me who to help in the Black community. That's where the problem is at. Because if somebody don't see it, they're like, oh, okay, they don't need help the Black community. You don't know who I'm helping. And guess what? It is not my job to show you. Because if it's genuine and the way that I operate, I don't need you to tell nobody. I'm not going to go tell nobody. Those people know. I don't need the accolades. And I'm so happy that that backlash that I got was toward me and not toward someone who is broken with low self-esteem. Now let's talk about the mixed child. That's a problem because you're not accepted here with the Caucasians because you're Black. But now you're not accepted here with the Blacks because you're not Black enough. We got to do better, people.
Well, I think that's not our problem. I think that people need to have their own group because they have their own experience. In other groups, in other countries, mixed race you can mark that as being your race.
Ma'am.
Go ahead.
I am a product of a mixed grandfather. He was not accepted from the white people. His twin brother, who looked white, being killed, the white people paid a Black person to kill him because he was dating a white woman. And they were not accepted by their own Black people because when my great-grandmother died when they were young, they were raised by a cousin. That cousin treated them like a dog. Because they were mixed. That's not fair. Because the point of the matter is, you are Black. 1%, 2%, 50%, you're still Black. And that's why there is such a division. And
within the Black race.
My father grew up being a hard man, and he didn't take it off of nobody, Black, white, or otherwise. He has a name there in Bay Springs, Mississippi. You mention his name, everybody, they did. Because my grandfather had to grow up with that, so he made a name for himself, and he was known to be a hard man. Even the police, the white police, didn't mess with him. If somebody ran to him for help, and the police were trying to get them, whether they were going to lynch him or whatever, my grandfather was not to be moved, and they knew that, and they did not bother him. But yeah, he grew up like. Being that he grew up like that with that hate coming from both sides, he grew up being a hard man. And that's why my uncles grew up being hard.
And that's not
where I get my attitude from, too.
And that's not good, because as anger is, and you do have a lot of displaced anger, but anger from people believing that you're not good enough and you constantly have to prove yourself. I'm glad you brought that point up, Amber. I really am, though. I really am.
Well, okay, but what I'm going to say is that's not...
Wait. Just pin it real quick, because I want to say, I want to touch on what you were talking about. When you say pretty much they need their own group, but like I was saying, other nationalities look at us, all brown skin, okay? All brown skin as just being black. As being black. We're black, you're black. Okay. Other nationalities, you got the Chinese people, you got, the Asian, let me not say Chinese, because they get all upset with their stuff too. But you have one to say, okay, group us up, we're black. But then you have us that says, no, you're not, because you're not black enough. But go ahead.
So, okay, right. So in several African countries, mixed race people they're defined as colored, right? And that's how they're distinguished.
But so are we.
Right, no, I mean, that's just the terminology used to refer to a mixed race person. But it's distinguished from a full-blooded African person. And then the same thing with Asian people. Asian people distinguish someone who has two Asian parents versus someone who is half Asian and half something else. They have their own group. They have their own label, right? And then also not being exclusionary doesn't equate to hate if you are protecting your own history and your own image, and you're acknowledging the differences. You're acknowledging that there is a difference is not the same thing as excluding them. And the reality is, it's a different experience. It's like when people say that, South Americans were enslaved, Caribbeans were enslaved, African Americans were enslaved. It doesn't matter. We all have this history of enslavement. It's all the same thing. It's not the same thing. The people in America had a different experience than the people in the Caribbean versus the enslaved Africans in South America. Those are all unique experiences that deserve to be told and acknowledged on an individual basis, not just lumping them together. Also, that's my last thing. The one drop rule that was created by white supremacists, and that was to protect whiteness. That is not something that was created by black people.
Oh no!
Because all other groups of people acknowledge, okay, this is different. Y'all are different. Doesn't mean you should be treated badly or receive hate, but you're different. And
to my point, mm-hmm. Where we devise things. We are the ones that's causing the division. Now, I'm going to go back to your point one, when you were saying mixed children were called colored. Honey, we were called colored. All black people were colored. That was the same term. So that didn't change, because guess what? They got that 1% black. And let's be clear, just like you said, the white man is the one who said 1% black. So black people are not being accepted. To my point, they look at us as a group, but within us being black people, we are the ones that's causing the division and saying, okay, you're mixed, you're not black. That's not okay. And like I was saying, I'm glad it happened to me, and I got two black parents. I'm blackity black. But the problem is the way that I came out, which is clear that we have all shades of black. That's why I say our brown skin, as a brown skin girl. I'm still black, but I'm not accepted to the strangers on the Twitter because I ain't black enough.
Yeah, exactly. I got too much time on their hands. But when you're ambiguous, when you look more ambiguous, that happens. You could dress a little bit differently, and people would think that you're Indian or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or Hispanic. They thought you were Hispanic, or they thought you were like a light-skinned black woman. So you could have easily claimed any one of those ethnicities.
But I'm not them, so I ain't claiming them because I ain't a liar.
Yeah, no, and I'm not saying you should be a liar or you should, but I'm just saying I think, that kind of goes with ambiguous or having a feature that is ambiguous.
So what does black people look like, Amber? I just want to know.
Well,
I want to pick your brain.
I think black people look, I think black people, we come in a variety of shades and colors and features and all that. And that's definitely true. But as far as blackness and the black experience, you're not having the black experience if you have one non-black parent. It's
okay. For the sake of this conversation at the kitchen table. So these people think that I'm not black. Okay? So they thinking I ain't had the black experience. They have
right,
no...
Which is why they told you to be quiet. Exactly.
And like you said, clearly they don't know male.
Yeah, they did. Nobody asked you, why? But they don't... I mean, and I can't speak for another race because I am not that. The black experience is what? The mistreatment? Like, help me.
No, and I think it's unfortunate when a lot of black people think that blackness is about oppression and negativity and depression and then you got hello.
Girl, that pissed me off.
Thank you. And then you've got non-black people thinking they're black just because they've been oppressed. No, you're not. Blackness is more than that. The black experience is more than that. Our black genes are more than that. And so when we sit here and equate blackness to just being poor and being ostracized and being oppressed, then you get these non-black folks thinking, oh yeah, well I'm black or I feel black. You can't just that's different
conversation.
You cannot.
I've heard that too. Well, I feel black. Well, I grew up in a black community.
Thank you. No, you're not black still. You're not black. Don't worry.
Okay, and especially when it comes to the N-word. Well, y'all use it. Well, I grew up in the projects. I don't give a rat for Tootie. I'm going to be nice today. Both of your parents are European, so you ain't black.
Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about as far as being, well, we start, what they call it.
So should I go back on there and say that I had a black experience? I said, should I go back on there and be like, I had black experiences?
About like giving out the black card.
Black.
Well, yeah. Or inviting people to the cookout. I think we do need to be more selective. Like, okay, you can empathize. Okay, you can be an ally. Okay, you can relate. But that doesn't make you black.
All right, now let's bring us back to the point at hand. That I'm black, but my black people said I'm not black. The black people that don't know me.
You didn't even know they was black.
Girl, listen, I did see a little picture, and one person, it was a man. Listen, wait. You brought it up. One was a guy. I did look at the little picture. One was a guy, and the one was a white lady. I thought that was funny. But that was just... That's you was hitting it.
You too comfortable. Get too comfortable. Excuse you. You're not even a place to correct me.
Right. That's why I didn't cut you off because you were right.
I'm way too comfortable.
But here's the thing, and then you don't know if that's them. But let me tell you, my black people. Let me use air quotes since the picture was white, so we don't know. Because people change their pictures, their photos. Right. And there was a guy that was on there, and I'm just like, you got to realize some things. This is what I realized, honestly. I have been blessed, and I'm grateful for how my black parents raised me, okay? That I really thought, and this is how, it might sound rude, but it's me. This is how non-invested I am and was as a child in other folks' lives. I thought that everyone had the same upbringing as me. I did. Until somebody said recently, who was it, Shimmy Nick? He was like, what? I thought that. So in me saying this, I'm saying that. I'm talking to that over there. Their experiences. This is what I believe because I'm all about the mind. Watching how they were like tearing me to shreds. I said, you know what? Their experiences are different from mine. So the way that I was thought of. I never project how I feel onto somebody else. I'm just giving my view. But their experiences had to be of a black girl is very different from me being black, that they're attacking me and saying I'm not black enough. Now hear me, and I keep saying this to you. They don't know me. So again, the message is, don't get all tied up into what somebody says about you on these social media sites, because they don't know you. So there is no reason for you to even fight with them. I told you I was on break and I was here for it. And then I was like, well, break's over. Gotta go. But don't believe those people. They don't know you. And it makes me sad when people are committing suicide based off of a stranger's thoughts. I'm being bullied on TV or on the computer. You know what I'm saying? I just say it's TV. And the reason I'm saying TV is because you have control. You have the remote. Turn it off.
Because folks that do know you sometimes say worse behind your back.
Wait. I'm speaking to the people that don't know you. And it's interesting how we tend to believe people who really don't know us and take it to heart versus the people that do know you, because when they do know you, they're just being mean and trying to get up under your skin, and you already know, get out of here. But for people who don't know you at all, have not met you, why do you care what they think? That's my question. And I wish somebody who has gone through that just comment, help us understand. I want to hear from you. I really do, to see exactly what it is. Do I believe children need to be on social media? I do not, for that very reason, because they're not mature enough to know, you're looking for friends as a child. Friends. Okay, I have friends, but these people aren't your friends because they don't know you. And you don't want to even be their friend. Take control. You have your page. Take control of it. And here's the thing. Don't look out there for friends. You need to ask this question. Who's worthy enough to be my friend and I let them on my page? You need to choose who your friends are. Don't let your friends choose you. Just like a man, sis, even though they choose you, but you need to say, is this a good fit for me? Yeah. All right, I'm done with that. Let me tell you, if y'all want to comment on there, y'all still can. Let me tell you what happened. Man, I wish I had a video. So it's early in the morning and I'm at the gas station. And it was one of my sisters. I guess she threw something on to go to the gas station, because she threw her pants on and her panties was hanging out the bottom of the leg. So I was like, oh no. Now here's what's interesting. Yes, you're right, Art. Nobody can walk in your shoes but you. You're absolutely right. She had on they wasn't sweats. They were I guess gray. They were gray. Pajama pants. And I'm thinking she just threw something on. She got some cigarettes. But here's what's interesting. I was number 7 in the line. Nobody wanted to tell her. Nobody wanted to tell her. Everybody was sitting in there. And they probably was they didn't know how she was going to respond. So me, here I am. Waltzing on up there, spinning it out. And I stood next to her in the line. And she went to go off. She did. She was like, you gotta wait. And I said, sis, you got underwear on your right leg hanging from the bottom of your pants. And I whispered it to her. And then she looked down and she apologized to me. And because I understood the whole 6 feet. I did. But I needed to get close enough to her. And I didn't want to get behind her because that's uncomfortable. But I had to tell her. And I understood when I got there. She was like, you got to wait. I said, sis, you got. And then I'm whispering this. But I only had to say it one time. And I said, don't look now. I'm going to go back. I told her, I was like, don't look now because they're going to know what I said. I said, but I'm going to go back. But you should handle that. And she said, thank you so much. I went back in the back of the line. Guess how many sis thugs was in that line? I was number 3.
I was going to say probably a couple. Wow.
And nobody said anything. And
they didn't see it.
Girl, you saw it. They was colored. She had gray pants with some discolored panties.
Okay, you know how when you...
and she had house shoes on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh?
That's what happened.
Oh, I can imagine what happened. You throw it on. You had it on yesterday.
I thought you were saying something.
Listen, so the moral of the story is, shake your pants before you throw them on.
Right.
That's the moral of the story. But how many times, and here's the thing, it could have been me.
Right.
And I was I'm like, I would want somebody to come and tell me. Like, I'm looking, I was like, I couldn't even laugh at it. Like, I normally be like, if it was somebody in my family, Nick, I would have been rolling. You know, I'm rolling after. But in the moment, I was like, oh no, you know? So, but when I told her and she turned the corner, then she grabbed them and went on, you know, and thank God it wasn't face up.
Oh my goodness.
Talk about most embarrassing moment, you know? And she went to a car.
She don't watch. Hopefully she don't watch.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care. It happened. I don't care about it now. But it is. It is. But at that moment, I was like, ooh. You know, here's what's interesting.
Down because you stood next to her.
Right. Yeah, she's ready to get down with the get down. But wait, she got in the car with somebody else. And it was her right leg. So I know she gave them the business, but they couldn't see because they're driving. You know. But I know she was rolling. I know they was rolling. Like, oh my gosh. You know. And I hope that they were like just on the road because that particular gas station was like you get off the freeway type gas station. Mm-hmm. But all it is, listen, when you throw them pants on, be like, I'm going to run out to the mailbox or go get the newspaper.
Shake them out first.
Shake them out first. Check the legs, you know. Because you do. You'll be like, oh, I had this yet. You know, you get in the shower, boom, you toss them. Be like, I'm going to throw these on real quick. So I don't know if she's like in a hotel. I don't know. I wasn't that invested. But what I did is I wanted to save somebody. I was like, please tell me if that happens to me. You know, probably like, I ain't going to see them no more. But I hope also that when somebody comes up, you're still on guard because I am. I'd be like, back up. But everybody is not there to hurt you.
Right.
And that's not a black or a white thing. That's just a people thing. You know, I'm not saying open up. I was with her though, 110% because y'all already know. I'd be like, I'm still here. You know, I still would be that like, can you back up? But she realized that I was trying to tell her something. So shake them out. That's the moral of the story. When you throw them pants on from the day before, shake them out. Or if you have a company, it's an unexpected company because y'all know how that go. And you be like, oh, I was chilling. Let me throw these on. If it ain't a family member, shake them out. So make sure.
Wow.
Now back to this, and you said back to this quit versus being fired. Yeah, I always have to protect my energy, and I'm okay to walk away. But sometimes being fired might work in your benefit.
Especially if it's a lawsuit going to be involved. You let them fire.
Yeah.
That I understand. But 9 times out of 10.
You go quit. Well, it looks better on your resume. Because when we ask, you ask that question, you're like, well, what happened here? Well, what happened here? And you be like, you got fired. You already know as management, the first thing in our head, we got a little ding alert. Mm-hmm. Ding, what happened? Ding, you know what I mean? Versus quit. And quit doesn't look good either because that means I can't rely on you. It's like, okay, well, I can't rely on look, both of them mean I can't rely on you if it's too many. Think about it.
Or too close together.
Yeah, a better opportunity, right? Because you know me, I'm all about the money. If you pay me more money than this one, I'll see you later.
See? Intentions. You know what you're there for. It's like, okay, this is what I'm here for. Nothing else. So boom. And it matters. It matters. What are you there for? And that's what it is. What's the objective? Why did I even apply for this job? And you said, for the money. Some people apply for jobs for the experience. You know what I mean? And not, some who haven't worked and are trying to get their feet wet and there you go. Or if it's like, okay, I'm trying to get into this business, that would be me. I'm just going to put it out there. That's me. If I'm trying to get into this business, I'm going to work it so that I know exactly, the ins and out and learn and know who to hire and who not and what type of personalities to hire and which ones not to hire. Well, your boy Will Smith, that's what they was talking about all week. I didn't even get no new information. I'm sad about the people who won the Oscars and they just kind of
got brushed off.
Big time. Big moment. I'd have been listen, they probably would have escorted me.
Hello?
Off. Because if I would have won the Oscars, I would be like, no. 5, 4, 3, 2. I got an Oscar. Like, it was a lot of people that incident overshadowed. Look at us. We talking about it. So let's break it down a little bit. Will Smith, he put out a statement. He resigned from the Oscars from ever going back. Because remember, they was talking about expelling him. They said expel.
Sure.
Now, what you think about him coming out talking about he resigned? I want to know. Talk. Y'all go ahead. Let me sip on my tea.
I didn't know he was actually part of it besides being in the yeah.
It's there's cleanup. It's optics. Dude, it's like, okay, dude. Like you said, it just took away so many other people's shine and their moment. And then you had mentioned you felt like Jada should have intervened or something. I disagree. I think that, you shouldn't get involved in the affairs of men as women, especially not a physical altercation. Secondly, he was initiating that physical altercation. And third, she is a very tiny little woman, and Will Smith is a quite large man. So I don't think she would have did. And I just think that he chose to do that for his own reasons. I mean, whether it was for Jada or for his ego or for his masculinity or whatever, he decided to get up there and do that. And so that's on him. And personally, just on the things I've looked at and researched and read about, I think it was about his ego, his masculinity, and him being dragged for years about the dynamics within his marriage. And that's why he got up there and slapped him. It wasn't even for Jada, because he laughed too. So
I want to speak to two things, and then Nick, you're up, okay? Because I really want to hear yours too. Now, you said you don't get in the middle of men things. I hear you.
Especially fights.
But it wasn't a fight.
He just slapped him.
He just walked away. We've all been married. So let's speak as a wife. We can do that. And ain't nobody gonna shut us off and be like, you ain't even a wife. Shut up. So listen, we all have been there to my Twitter people, because I'm on Twitter too. We're on Twitter as well.
Oh, okay.
Now, as a wife, your husband, you're in a public place.
Sure.
Your husband goes up and assaults somebody. He comes, okay, so usually you know your husband. And if you don't, you might be shocked. But what about the comeback, Amber? When he came back, she didn't even go and be like, are you okay? That clown sat there like this. Like, now would you, Jada just kind of didn't even, like, it was no shock, like, what the heck? So as a wife, would you have done something different?
The other thing that made me think this was not the first conversation. This wasn't the first issue between them. Now, and I had mentioned this last time we talked about it.
She actually laughed.
Wait a minute. I'm going to get to you, Nick. Let me go, Amber. Go ahead, Amber.
I bet you anything they talked about it in their matrimonial bed about the issue or her feelings or whatever. Because to me, like a lot of people said, it was not just the joke. The joke was the tipping point. that was like where it's like, okay, you know what? Yep, you're going to get smacked. That's how I'm going to respond to this. But I highly doubt that this was never an issue prior. And even if they chose to keep it private, I wouldn't even be surprised if Will Smith or Jada had said something to him prior in private, like, hey, I didn't think that was funny. Like, I didn't really appreciate that. Like, can you kind of keep my name out your mouth? Like, I don't want to be a part of your stand-up routine or whatever. Because it didn't strike me as, the joke was so offensive. Like, no, there was other stuff going on underneath, behind the scenes, and that was the boiling point.
Okay.
All right. As far as knowing your husband, yeah, my late husband, he had a temper, and if I knew he was about to pop off, I would intervene because I don't need my husband in jail. I need him providing for me.
Okay, go ahead. All right, let's hear Nyk. I wanted to hear that. Okay, go ahead, Nyk. What you got?
I saw another angle. Somebody somehow got the other angle from behind. At the time, Will was up there smacking right when he smacked. It was an angle from behind Jada. She sat there and laughed.
Alleged.
And she laughed. But the thing is, I wasn't mad at Will. I was mad at the moment he chose to do it.
Right.
Yes. That's where I'm at. I wasn't mad at him. Protect your family at all costs. But it was the moment he chose to do it was not the right moment, because not only did it take away from his night, it took away from a lot of others. It took away from Questlove, it took away from Samuel L. Jackson, it took away from a lot of other people's moments. And that's not the first time Chris had something to say about them. He said something about them in 2016.
That's what we talked about.
So that probably was part of the issue as well, because they actually did address him back then.
Let me say this. Let me say this to that, and I'm going to go right back to you, Nyk. What happened in 2016 was, again, that was self-sabotage. Let me say this. Just like now where he's all upset because of the stuff that she did with the Red Table Talk, 2016 was the same thing. She's the one that boycotted the Oscars. What Chris Rock said on there in 2016 was all factual. Oscars so white. So yeah, they gonna eat you up. You did this. Nobody came, visited the house like we doing, chilling, and then leave out and go talk about it. She did this publicly. So now you're upset that he talked about you and used you in his skit, something that you said. You got to take accountability for the part that you play. She said, Oscars so white, let's boycott the Oscars. So guess what? His job, he got hired by the Oscars. Why wouldn't you talk about that? Because I would. You said boycott the Oscars. Okay, well, I'm not one that's boycotting because I got a job. Nothing.
You know what?
Wait, hold it 1 second. So that wasn't, you're mad at what you said publicly because I saw it. And then, like I was saying, Will came off the airplane and media met him at the airport and was talking about the boycott. Guess who didn't know that she was boycotting the Oscars? Will Smith, her own husband. Again, blindsided. So that's something that she did, but she didn't appreciate it. Y'all better go back and look and see what's really going on, okay? You know, you can have your opinion, but get all the facts. Now, fast forward to now. And she was mad about it. But you did that. Just like this Red Table Talk. I'm going to let you do it. They apologized. They're friends now. Chris, back then, and he was hurt by to them for that 2016, and then they became cool again. So all is well. That's why people were thinking this slap was a skit, because they know they were cool. So I looked at it both ways. Just like y'all know me. And if you know what's going on in my household and we just sitting there talking, and then I make a joke, then you might get slapped. But like I was saying before, not publicly though, because I ain't trying to go to jail. Somebody got to pay the bills. But the joke before they got to Will, I thought that was the trigger, because it's the truth. And that's when he was saying with that couple behind there, he said, listen, both of you guys are nominated. if she loses, you still and you win, you still can't win. To me, that was to Jada and Will. Let's be real, because every time he was getting the accolades, she had an attitude, and he would push her forward. I'm about to be quiet, okay? No, and he would push her forward to put her in the limelight, but he had to like diminish his light, and that's just my opinion. You know, that's just my opinion.
That joke, the previous joke before the actual joke, was intentionally directed by Chris at them. At the second thing.
See, that's how I think, you know, and then I would be like, we cool. Wait. And then I would be like, we cool. It was for a different couple. But if we, like I said, if I'm cool with y'all know the inside of my house.
Sure.
So it was for another couple. But because that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, maybe that's it. He knows what's going on in the inside of the house because they're all friends. And maybe him and Will, because, you know, men talk.
Sure.
And it would be like, now, you know, that was like, to that, I know where that was coming from. That's what I was thinking at the very beginning. And then here comes the G.I. Jane joke, and he's upset. Nick, go ahead, Nick, and then we come back to you, Amber, because she wanted to speak. Go ahead. What you got, Nick? Go ahead.
Just still standing on. I thought, like you said, that couple, that joke was about the other couple, but like you said, they were friends. You know the inside of what's going on. There may have been some triggers. I still stand on my comment that how I think, and there's a lot of people that, and I think less of a woman that thinks that was cuteness. Now listen, we got enough problems with our men standing up for us. Period. So he stood up for his wife, whatever his reason was. I'm not mad at him for that. I'm mad at him for the moment he chose to do it, because you could have waited, bruh. You could have waited. Did it afterwards. You could have did it at the after party. You could have dude, I need to holler at you. Come by the house later on and whoop the tail at your house if you had to.
Yeah.
That wasn't the moment to do it.
Okay.
Am I mad because he did it? No. He chose to protect his wife and his family. I'm just mad at the moment that he did it. That's it. That's all. And I know a lot of people probably think different of me. Guess what? Y'all know I don't.
Okay. Right. All right. Look, I'm writing my note down to come back to you. Go ahead, Amber.
Okay, so what I was like, okay, so you think Chris Brown was it was a shade. It was a shade. Now,
Chris Brown, the singer? Chris Brown done beat up Rihanna.
I don't really follow them like that. You know who I met?
Chris Rock.
You know who I'm talking about. So you think Chris Rock's previous joke was like shady at the Smiths relationship?
I think Chris Rock's previous joke in my mind automatically put me into the Jada and Will area. For me, okay. I had no idea. And then he followed up with Will. He was like, let's hope Will wins. And then came the G.I. Jane. Okay. But honestly, when he was first talking about that couple, that's why I can't remember who the couple was, because I was like, ooh, because that's Will and Jada.
Oh, okay.
You know, and it's just my, my thoughts. Okay,
so, so I agree with Nick. And I have a question, because I don't really follow Chris Rock like that, but isn't he, I think he's either not married or he's had
a divorce
issues.
No, you don't have an issue when you get a divorce, do you, Nick? You be like, doofus.
Right. Okay, so I feel like, because some people were saying they think that he's low-key obsessed with them, and he's really, like, why are you so pressed about their marriage type deal? But my other thing was, as far as Chris Rock bringing up in 2016.
He didn't bring that up.
Well, no, because he brought up how she was, she was protesting.
She wasn't invited.
She wasn't invited. So he brought it up, right? And
okay.
I would have brought it up. I would not have brought it up because it doesn't benefit us as a group of people to point out each other's flaws. Like, if a black person cutting up and acting out, it's better just to be silent. You know what I'm saying? Instead of throwing them under the bus and then gathering them together in private, like we were saying Will Smith should have done to Chris Rock. He was out of line. He deserved a smack. It just shouldn't have been in public in front of all these other people at that moment, right? You can call Jada out for her hypocrisy and how it's disingenuous and it's fake and it doesn't actually mean anything. Her quote unquote protesting or the Oscars or whatever, but to put her into the, if that wasn't necessary. It's like, oh, let me just take this opportunity to throw another black person under the bus. Yes, like I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? He could have talked about something else.
He could have stayed on Will.
Oh, okay. But
it was Will's night, so the joke should have stayed. The joke should have stayed towards Will.
Okay.
But to his defense,
go ahead.
The writers write all of that.
And I think there's an agenda with that too.
That was an agenda. Because you don't have to say everything. That if you don't agree with it, you tell them or just blindside them like you got blindsided. Don't say it at all.
Okay. All right. Now let's back up a little bit. I am an Oscar watcher because, I'm into the performing arts. That's my thing. Okay. So I'm an Oscar watcher. Earlier that night, Waiting to Exhale, the one, I can't remember her name right now, but she had a joke about the entanglement early on. Chris comes later and he talks about that. And it was like, that wasn't, it still wasn't, and it will not be a bad joke. I really feel like it was protecting her because he looked at her because he was laughing. And it was a basic joke. You got to remember, Will was a comedian and he got into acting. And jokes are jokes. And what they do, Regina Hall, thank you so much, Art. Regina Hall, she's the one that actually made the joke earlier. And then you had Laverne Fox on the red carpet 2 weeks ago. I can't remember which award show. I watch those shows because I like to see the attire. Look, who's wearing what? I'm into that. And they brought up no more entanglements, Jada, right? That's what Laverne. That's what Laverne. Wait. That's what Laverne Fox said. He didn't slap Laverne Fox.
No, that was Jada's job to do it because that's a woman.
No.
Yeah.
Wait. That's a woman today, but that's a man. Remember Laverne Cox?
Yeah. But
so
now she's a woman, so that was up to Jada. Now, if you would have got a little bit wrong,
then Jada been slapping a woman that was a guy. That ain't fair.
If you want to get treated like a woman, he's gonna get slapped by a woman.
Okay.
Now, if he hit her back,
then what is it? If he hit her back, then what is it?
Then Will can go slap. Because like I said, Jada Pinkett is tiny. She's a little thing.
Okay, wait. How does that work though? Now y'all,
you know how I feel about it.
Wait, no. Listen. Let's think about this thing. So this was public though, but how does that work? So, a woman who was a guy, and now he's a woman, so now she's a woman. So Jada should have slapped her. And if Will would have slapped her, and that's you see what I'm trying to get? Like, how does that work?
He shouldn't have slapped her because the PC police.
Okay.
But if Jada slapped her, and then he hit back, and then Will stepped in, then it would have been copacetic all around. Okay,
go to the viewer. What you got? Go ahead, read it.
So Art Baldwin II.
Shh.
Art Baldwin II said she's slapping the woman side.
Stop. Because you guys are forgetting. See, with this whole COVID, you're forgetting that we have a listening audience. They can't hear you. So I don't want to read the comment because I don't need y'all writing me. Go ahead and read the comment.
Okay. Art Baldwin II said she's slapping the woman's side of the man.
Okay.
Pass it there and go to the corner.
All right.
Okay. You got corner side.
Look, I'm like, you gotta remember we got a listening audience out there too.
Okay. Okay, so
go ahead.
Another comment?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, so Art Baldwin also said that what was said in the house should have stayed in the house.
Okay, and see, that's where I was at. Like, that's why I was saying, you guys know me and y'all know this, but even though you don't say a name, because I do that, talking about who I'm talking about. He's stupid. Oh, she's silly. Okay, listen, an audience. Another comment. Y'all, we want to include you. Go ahead.
Okay. Art Baldwin the second said she's wait a minute, no.
I got it posted up here.
Okay, Brenda Coons said, "Welcome to the slap chat."
Like everybody got their little comments is going on. The thing is, honestly, when you break it down, and you could clearly see that he kind of just went up and just did it, and it had to be her. You know who's a trigger to him? She is.
Yeah. Because
when he was laughing, then he looked at her, and then boom, he just changed. Now, wait. Now, different people were saying, well, he was still in character. And, all that other stuff with Richard. Richard made a statement. Mr. Richard, let me put some respect on it. And he said we do not resort to violence unless it's self-defense. So don't put that on him like Richard just came out and you did that mess.
Yeah.
I want to go to this part of it. And you touched on that when you said it was the wrong time. Now, for those women who feel like he stood up for his woman, this is you, Nyk, okay? He stood up for his woman, so you were okay with that. You were okay with the slap, but at a different time. Let's speak to that part of it.
At a different time, yes, because we are at a time now where not enough black men.
Oh, you're breaking.
Their black women in the actual time of need. So,
okay, pin it. Pause. Go ahead, Amber.
So I wanted to say that as far as like the marital dynamic and him laughing at first initially, I think that happens a lot when you're married. When you're like, oh, that was funny, and then you look over to your spouse and that hurt their feelings, and then you're like, okay, no, it wasn't funny because now my spouse's feelings hurt, so no, cut it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's so indicative of anything. I feel like that's just like it happens when you're with not even just your husband or your wife, but with your friends. Like, okay. You laugh, but then you're like, oh, man, they was in their feelings. Okay, so now it's not funny. So
it's still funny. And Nyk knows it's still funny. If something is funny, you'd be like, oh, sorry, I guess I should have laughed. Okay, I should have went in the bathroom and laughed at that.
Okay. I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world. It happens.
Okay.
When you're married, it happens. And then as far as the protection.
That's what I want to go to.
There's low protection. There's hood protection. I think that was an example of hood protection in the moment, emotional, very visceral response versus like high value protection where it's more calculated, it's more thought out, and it's going to have lasting consequences that aren't going to hurt you or them, but actually hurt the person it's intended to hurt. And that would have been the ideal response if he had thought it out better, and just not reacted on emotions. But yeah, I do think he was standing up for his wife, but it was not ideal.
I was reading a lot of the comments, and I got to tell you, when something like that happens, honestly, it's more to it. A lot of he stood up for his wife. Black men need to stand up for their black men, and blah 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 blah. And black men need to stand up for their black women, and he stood up. I'm sorry. This is my difference. I'm different. I'm with Nyk. There is a time and a place to go and slap somebody because first of all, he never said nothing about alopecia. He didn't say nothing about being bald. You heard what you heard, but everybody's experience is different. So you hear what you hear. Okay. Now you go up and you smack somebody. Now you in jail. So it's like, okay, you're in jail. Look how much money, if you're money motivated, because I am too. I am too, Nyk. How much money could be lost? Mm-hmm. This is the part that's important to me. You go up there, you do this, and you take everyone's moment that they worked so hard for. That's my thing. That's something you can never get back.
That's what I was upset about.
You can never get that. Right. You fight the Oscars as an actress or an actor, and you can never get that back. Money you could get back, you could get out of jail, but your Oscar moment will never, ever come back. Okay? Now, my thing, I'm not trying to get my man out of jail because you can't protect me no more because now you locked up. Roxanne, you don't have to turn on the red light. Like, give me a break. So that I will be embarrassed and humiliated by, because guess what? Both of us are celebrities. And you got his reputation. It's over. It's over. You know, can he come back? I mean, he Mr. Box Office, so he may come back. But the one that's winning, honestly, is Chris Rock. And I say that to say this. If Chris Rock would have hit back like everybody said, you know, you talking, you don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
It would have ruined the entire night.
Yeah.
We would not have seen anything that we did see. It would have totally 100% ruined the entire night. He held his composure. I mean, the epitome of professionalism. And if I was in that spot, I'm speaking for me, I can say that I probably would not have done anything different than what Chris did. And he, you know, went on, let the show go on because you're at a job. But let me see you out. Watch this. And I'm putting it out there. Because you have a lot. I mean, both of them have a lot to lose. And then they already know if he get beat up or jumped or something like that, they're like, who did it? No, that's what you got your people for. I ain't telling you what to do, Chris. But that's what you got your people for. You know what I mean? So now Will has to get extra security. He got to constantly look over his shoulder. He has children. Will has children out there. And his son is on there bumping his gums on Twitter. Talking about, yeah, that's how we do it. Boy, sit down. Remember how you was crying on Karate Kid? Sit down. You know what I mean? Come on. And you don't even look hard. You out here looking like, what's his name? The one, the guy's
skirt on.
What's his name? The one that had the people hit him, beat him up. I can't think of his name right now. Juicy. Jussie Smollett. So you out there with him. You know what I mean? You looking like him, like, stop. Let it go. It's a moment that should not have happened. And it was, I mean, he walked up there like Mike Lowry. Y'all saw him. Walked on that stage. I was like, oh, Mike Lowry. And then he hit him with the Muhammad Ali. He changed characters. So maybe he had all of them blended. It was like a skit from In Living Color. You know, it's like, wait, what are we doing? But again, I have so much respect for Chris Rock taking it just to save the night. He saved the night for me.
Sure. I think I agree. I think that he handled it and his response was ideal. But as far as someone comes and said, why not, and then talk about it later, I think the issue was that it was a publicly made comment, and we can get into how black men are very comfortable disparaging and embarrassing black women on a public local stage without, you know, any type of recourse or reprimand or whatever. I mean, and then if Will Smith is out here handing out slaps, I mean, who's going to slap Gilbert Arenas for what he said about Lupita Nyong'o completely unprovoked? You know, just nobody asked you for that,
right?
But no, you need to let the world know how much you find dark-skinned black women unattractive. Like, just all kinds of nonsense. So, as far as Nick's point, yeah, I still stand on that. I still agree with that. And as far as Chris Rock handled it very professionally, but like, you know, he started it. And as far as like the black community and black culture, what happened to talk-ish get hit? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so now you're supposed to just bump your gums and talk and say whatever you want about anybody with no recourse.
Now,
I just got one question. If Jada had hair, would that comment about J.R. Jane would have been made? No, it wouldn't have. He would not have. I mean, he might have cued in on something else, or he might not even said anything about her at all. If she had hair, if she had shaved her hair, that G.I. Jane comment would not have been made.
It probably would have been something else.
Right, that's what I said. It may have been something else.
And then he would have got slapped again.
Right, and he would have
still been slapgate. But the thing is, everybody said, well, it wasn't about her hair. Yes, it was about her hair, because had her hair not been shaved, that G.I. Jane joke would not have been made, number one. Number two, he is wrong for even engaging in that when he made a whole documentary about hair.
That's like I said performative
Yeah, so
love.
it was like, if Jada had hair, that comment wouldn't have been made. it would have been something else.
Okay, let's look at this. Did you see Jada's live when she said she doesn't have a problem being bald? Her bald is beautiful.
When she had on the puffy gray jacket?
I don't know what she had on. I was just looking like, you probably shouldn't have said nothing because he slapped him protecting you, and now you're like, oh, I'm okay with my hair being bald.
Well, and I think, okay, so I want to point out that I do not have alopecia. I don't have hair issue. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I know how women, particularly black women, with hair, thinning hair issues, what their feelings are and what they should be sensitive about or not be sensitive about. But I feel like you can sit here and struggle with something. And we had talked about that before about like Will Smith also doing the same thing, being disingenuous. You can struggle with something, but also be working towards letting it empower you. You know what I'm saying? It can be a dynamic. It can be a working relationship. She may, instead of saying, I love it, I don't care what nobody says, this whole strong black woman trope, I'm so tired. And that's what we're talking about we had mentioned, being a strong woman. I'm like, no. Instead of try to presenting herself to the world as being strong and empowered by her alopecia, she could have been more authentic and say that it's a working relationship that I'm trying to be okay with. I'm working towards being okay with my baldness, but sometimes it's a struggle. Some days I think I look great. Some days I think I look terrible. If she was being more transparent about her true feelings, then I think the whole night could have went differently. And I honestly, I think people would have received it a lot different. Like, okay, you're making fun of someone over something that they have been openly honest about something that they're struggling with. But she took the strong black woman route and was like, no, I'm good and I'm confident. And it's just like, no, boo-boo, no.
That wasn't the look on your face when he said it, boo.
Right, and it's okay. And I know one news network had brought on several different women of different races that have alopecia, and they were like, no, they all unanimously said that joke was not funny. It was offensive. It was not cool. So, and like I said, I have hair, so I can't speak on it. And if these people is saying it's not okay,
I have a good friend
it wasn't okay.
I have a good friend who suffers from alopecia. Mm-hmm. And again, I say my friend, so that's the difference. But they weren't offended by that joke, and she has alopecia and no, eyebrows, no lashes. Like she got, I don't know this, I don't want to go through the stages of it. But when that joke came, I have my thoughts on it, and I don't want to keep going back. I want to move forward, but I wanted to talk about the different dynamics of the night. She came out and said that she likes her black hair, her bald head, because she always rocked it. So like I said, I didn't know. And I want to say this, Chris did not know that she suffered from alopecia because she looks just like you and I, Amber, remember we said like she always rocked short hair and did it and looked fabulous. Now, what if she does make G.I. Jane 2? Is all this still going to be there?
It's probably going to be a line in the film. It'll be somehow low-key diss at Chris Rock.
You know what? He's making a come up. The Oscars, what did they say? Watched. It was down 56% being watched. So nobody was really paying attention. Now it's up. It's like, okay, Oscars. The production was an all-black production. That was amazing. And that was the moment. And we know how peopling do. They just peopling. That was brought up, and by being brought up, it was like, here we have the opportunity to do something. And this was a comment on Twitter. Y'all better stay off Twitter.
I saw the comment about not just about the winners, but also how because I didn't know this year was being produced by black people.
Listen, wait, let me finish. Wait, we can't cut it off because I got to complete it for the people. All black production, and the black people showed out. So if you guys don't know Will Packer, check him out. And I actually heard him speak as well. And he was talking about Chris Rock is the one. He said that LAPD came back there because they're there, and they came to press charges. Chris Rock said absolutely not. They came and they were going to arrest Will at that moment. He said no. So that's why I'm really big on Chris Rock saved the night, because it could have went an entirely different way. It was supposed, and this is alleged, when they were saying that Will Packer actually is the one that said it, I believe, that they did not ask Will to leave. So that's rumor, alleged. And the night just went on, as it was supposed to go on, as if the slap did not happen. But that slap happened. And it happened. Look, I'm like, that slap happened. Chris Rock did his first stand-up, because he was on tour, he's on tour after the slap. And he was talking, he was funny. The little clips I saw was funny, but he wasn't ready to talk about that slap yet. I know he wasn't, because he said, I'm still in shock.
Yeah, that's what I guess the next Wednesday night or something, because I was reading that where he was talking about everything, and one of the people that came to see the show said several people was like, F Will Smith, and he was like, no. He shut him down. We're not doing that, no.
Right. And as far as what we have already talked about, you said black people showed out. No, Will Smith showed out.
No.
Because Chris Rock held it down.
He did.
Other black folks held it down, and Will Packer held it down, and he did an excellent job producing the Oscars. So we're not going to let Will Smith and his foolishness taint all the other black folks and all their hard work and the other black folks that were there that know how to act.
Now you're right. But that's the comment I was talking about, and I got sidetracked. They were saying, oh, look, all black cast, like production, and black people can't even act right. And my issue with that was, like you said, Will Smith showed out. I just hate, there we go, back again.
Exactly.
That's to my point. But let me say this, and I'm going to go to you, Nick. I just felt like, why did it happen? Why was it us? Why? Like, we can't go nowhere. How many years have we heard you can't take black people nowhere?
Forever.
Right. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, not a classmate of mine. He graduated a couple of years before, but of course he's Caucasian. He posted that a couple of days ago. This is what happened when you invite blacks to the Oscars. I'm surprised his classmates didn't jump all over his black classmates, because especially the classmates he got, because I'm related to a couple of them, and they will fight at the drop of a dime.
Well, that's what we're trying to get away with, Nick, and you keep bringing it, and we're trying to get away with the violence.
Ignored it, but I'm more or less speaking on the comment. This is what happens when you invite blacks to the Oscars.
So the thing is, they was gonna think that anyway. It don't matter. It don't matter. And the reality is, Will Smith acted a fool. Will Smith did. Not Will Packer, not Chris Rock, not any other nigga that was up in the place. It was just him. So we're not going to sit here and we reject that. We reject that. The Oscars was beautifully produced. And, Samuel Jackson and all the other black people there were elegant and poised and well-spoken, and it was a beautiful evening. And Will Smith, just as we have already talked about, him and his wife put their marriage on Front Street for everyone to discuss all the ins and outs and details, and he has let it get to him. It has been gotten to him for probably years at this point.
Yeah.
And he snapped.
And then August had the nerve to make his little commentary on his little page.
Okay, wait, Nick, because I'm going to introduce you. Wait, I'm going to introduce you. So, August made a comment. He finally spoke out. Go ahead, Nick.
I skimmed through that comment. I was mad that he even opened up and said anything, because, boy, the world would not know about the entanglement if you would have stopped being in your feelings and acting like a woman and shut up. But to that also, Jada was wrong. That boy was suffering. He came to y'all treated him like family. That was your son's friend, and you decided to do what you did. There was plenty of other grown black men that you could have brought into your bedroom fold and not brought that young man that is clearly suffering with mental issues. So she was wrong in that. So she was wrong in this whole, and I'm a black woman, she was wrong in this whole scenario, period. But August, baby, if you hadn't been in your feelings and said nothing, the world would not know. Shut it out. Period.
Go ahead, Amber.
Okay, so yeah, we already discussed this, Mel, and I think it's because like these have been rumors for years, and Jada never spoke on it. So, but when he started bumping his guns, and I felt like their hand was a little bit forced because he was running his mouth. I already told you, I don't feel sorry for him. Oh, he has mental issues. Okay, how many men have taken advantage of young girls, brought them into their marital fold, knowing that they have depression and low self-esteem and all this, that, and the other? That's what happens. You got to have low self-esteem to be a mistress. Okay? So, it's just like, okay, I'm not going to give him compassion because he's a male. He knew what he was doing, and and Jada is messy as all get out for that. Yes, she was. I mean, I told you I think they're weird. But as far as him being innocent and poor him, no, you got treated like how mistresses get treated. Let it go, sir. Now you learn something, you had an experience, and you move on. But no.
Okay.
I think when women are in August Alsina's position, we get far less compassion, far less understanding. You got to be a mistress, you're going to get treated like a mistress.
Not crazy with the missions. All right, so here's my thoughts. August Alsina. I don't think he should have said nothing right now. Just let it go, because there you go. Okay, that's right now in the present. Him speaking about his love, because they would ask him how you feel. He done wrote songs and everything, so his love was there. Was he treated like a mistress? He was not, because the mistress don't get to go out in public. Him and Jada was seen everywhere on the red carpet, okay? The person, you said there would not be an entanglement. She coined that entanglement because she brought it out. As long as she was not mentioning anything at all, everybody like, this cat, okay, they was thinking he was lying, making it up. She confirmed it. That confirmation at her little lovely red table talk is what did it. So guess what? When you talk just like me, when I talk, you got to deal with the consequences. We can agree to disagree all day long, but I'm going to still be talking. Because that's what I do. Now, she got that red table talk. They're celebrities. I mean, high-end celebrities. You got to know it comes with the table talk. They showed a clip of her walking off. I don't know where she was walking from, an airport or whatever, but she was walking and they asked about what she heard. She said it comes with the territory. You got to know when you are a celebrity, when people know, it comes with the territory. If somebody's going to talk about Nyk, if somebody's going to talk about Amber and think they know something, it comes with the territory. You just have to know who you are. You'll be like, okay, people are just going to say that. You got your bullies out there. You got the people tweeting. And that's why I said, you know you. So what difference does it make? Now with Will, I feel the same way. I feel like that slap was for her. She caused all this mess. It's like, okay, and it was for her. Literally and figuratively. Look, literally and figuratively. It was all her. He just happened to be the vessel at the moment. He wanted to slap. That slap was August Alsina. That slap was everybody on Twitter. That slap was all of us. That was our slap. Talk about, okay. That slap was definitely for everything that she put out, because we would not know it had she not mentioned it. So you got to go to the source.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand, because I feel like Will Smith, they said they've had an open marriage for like 20 years. That means they was both sleeping with other people. And then later
what did they say? Bringing themselves happy to each other.
But my thing,
I said weird. Okay.
Wait, Nyk, wait a minute. I cut her off. So, cause you know how the mics go out. Go ahead, Amber.
Right. I said they was weird. So they've been dealing with other people. That's why I don't believe. I think the snap for August Alsina was because he don't know how to keep his mouth shut. I don't think he was upset. He slept with Jada, because Jada done have multiple partners. He himself has had multiple partners within their marriage. Now, if he didn't know, okay, he didn't know about this one, right? But he knows about all the other ones. So I don't think he was that upset that it happened, but that it came out in public. And obviously, all the women's that Will Smith done messed with.
I know you ain't say women's. I know you ain't put an S.
Say women.
I know you ain't put an S on that women's.
The women. And that's what I was saying.
Go ahead, Nick.
His indiscretions that he's had in their open marriage, them women know how to be quiet. August was the one. Even the other men that Jada has been quiet. It was August that decided to sing like a canary.
Yeah,
boy, shut your mouth. That wasn't the time to sing.
Yeah.
Shut it up.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
The booty if you'd have shut up.
Right. It would have been nothing. It would have been, and like I said, I don't remember, but I
But
did
she
like.
prayed on that child and she wrong.
Well,
That's a child to you. You're wrong.
He was 20.
You prayed on that child. He grown, but he's a child to you.
Your son's friend. Your son brought him on.
But you know what? Okay, because I got to touch on the misogyny. I got to touch on the misogyny. Because men do that all the time. Men will on their daughter's friends.
I'm not just jumping on her because of that, and they're wrong. Because I know somebody who actually slept with their daughter's friend. Personally. Yeah. And you're wrong. Because now your child feels some type of way about you.
But, and then, okay, so my point is men do it all the time. They do it more often than women. But they got all this smoke for Jada. For Jada moving like a man, basically. Because men do all this type of stuff all the time. And it's trifling.
I lost her. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah.
Well, go to the comment, Nick.
Oh, wait a minute. Art Baldwin said, if you're in the public eye, you're subject to conversation. Yes, that's true.
It is.
My thing is the amount of comments men were saying jumping on Will about what he did or whatever, and a lot of them got a lot of nerve too, because a lot of y'all men, especially the ones that I know that was commenting saying things. So I seen somebody put another one in their place. Yeah, because you talking about he shouldn't have defended her or said anything because she made him look bad in public with her messing with somebody, and she was like, how many different baby mamas you got?
Oh.
And you're married, and how many women you still been chasing while you married?
And it happens.
Looking for somebody. You on here looking for somebody on social media talking about you just want to find the one, but you're still married, bro.
True.
Stop it.
True.
Stop it. So don't be talking about what this woman is doing and you're doing it in male form. We not you doing it, but because she did it and because of her status, you got a problem with it. But you're doing the same thing.
Now watch this. The masculinity, and that's where the problem is at, I believe. Because she is doing it in male form. She doing her thing. Can't be mad at her for that. Problem is, Will is reacting like the female. And that's where I see the issue is. Because it's like, and we're not talking Jada and Will, we're just talking about infidelity. When you are married and when a guy cheats, we're supposed to be like, oh, okay. But when a female cheats, it's like, oh, wait a minute. And got you out there crying like a female. It looks bad publicly. I got to be honest with you. Her speaking and giving us all of her business, it is public humiliation for the box. I call them Mr. Box Office. And they have been clean for years. One of the couples that have been clean until they decided to share. And you can't get mad at the public for speaking because you already know you got the trolls out there that's going to talk any old way. But you can't get upset with the people speaking when she's revealing her information. She's revealing her truth. So with that, I mean, kudos to Jada. She might have had enough. And it was probably bothering her. Like, I'm tired of keeping these secrets. I want to just let it out so that I can be free. And she should very well be able to do that. And that's what she did, but it was at her family's expense. Now, they should have talked about it prior, or she needed to do what she needed to do. Go ahead and do your thing. They're probably going to get, more viewers on the Table Talk, Red Table Talk. We're going to get more viewers. And I want to say this that I didn't say before. Chris Rock didn't even know she suffered from alopecia. I don't know if I mentioned that. I probably did. So,
yeah.
And there's a lot of things that people just talk about, but we're not in your house. We don't see your medical records. We talk. You know what I'm saying? So you and I, we sitting here, we talking and enjoying ourselves, but we don't know those folks' medical records because we don't know them. All we know is what you tell us. We converse about it, shop talk about it. Here you go. And that's it. Nothing, intentionally, slandering anybody. That's why I say alleged. But we shop talking. That's what we do. So him as a comedian, that's what they do. They talk about the reality and make light of it. So now what's going to happen? Or should, before they talk, should they go and be like, hey, I need consent? When you walk through the door of a comedy show, that is consent because everybody in there is fair game. What's your thoughts, Nyk?
That's why I don't go to a comedy show if it's in the first several seats.
Because you know.
I stay in the back. I still see you, but I'm going to stay in the back. I'm going to laugh when I'm supposed to laugh. I ain't heckling nothing because I know my temper and I get mad. I'll be one of the ones, I'll be done did it Will Smith and be in jail. So therefore, I just stay back. And it ain't worth it. So I just stay in the back.
Now why would you, okay.
You're subject to everything.
So is it okay to laugh at other people as long as you don't laugh at me? Is that it?
To me, I've seen comedians.
No, wait. I'm just asking that question.
No.
Is it okay to laugh at other people?
I don't laugh at everything. I don't laugh at every joke.
Okay.
If people picking on somebody.
Okay, wait.
They talk about
okay, so just answer the question, yes or no. I just want to understand. Is it okay to laugh? Not. Okay, so no. Amber, is it okay to laugh at other people as long as they're not talking about you?
Is it okay to laugh at other people if they're not talking about you?
As long as they're not talking about you. So, comedy show.
It's okay to laugh at other people, and it's okay to laugh even if they are talking about you.
Okay.
It's funny.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to get to. Now, when you go into a comedy show, like I was saying earlier, it's fair game. That's consent. And now when Nyk made her point, she knows. Don't sit in the front of a comedy show because we have seen for many years that if you're in the front, you're fair game. If they are up there, they could be in the middle of their entire set. If you get up in the middle of the set, you're fair game. If you come late in the middle of the set and sit up front, you're fair game. So y'all better take Nyk's advice. Don't buy tickets in the front. For the comedians. Now, Nyk did say, she said it'd be the same thing like Will Smith if they're talking about her. But the problem now is you have comedians that's carrying, because guess what? Now you don't need a license in certain states to carry a gun. Somebody come and let's talk to everything. If Will Smith, if a comedian is there and he goes up on the stage and the comedian, he or she gets slapped, you don't know what the repercussions are going to be because everybody is not going to be Chris Rock.
Right. And I think that the best thing, like as a private citizen or a non-celebrity, you should leave, or start heckling them, or, say something back or leave, you know what I'm saying?
Leave. Don't listen, watch it at home. Watch a comedy show at home if you're sensitive, because all the comedy shows that I be at, listen, I see it and it is making light of real events. And that's why we laugh, because we can relate. There are certain comedians that do just crack on the audience. I'm not a big fan of a comedian that just crack on the audience. I'll be like, I need some material because
that's what I'm saying.
I'm a thinker.
I've seen shows where they speak about their life, their events, and they're not cueing in on anyone else. Because you never know what a person is feeling, they might, you never know. A person might be on the edge and then they're coming to see you trying to bring yourself back to reality, and then you start picking up. So I don't laugh at every joke when they're talking about somebody because it's not always funny, especially some of the stuff that some of the shows that I've been to and they're talking about. I'm like, that ain't even funny. So you have comedians that will cue in on themselves, their lives, their families, and if that's you and your family, you want to talk about that. That's
and you're telling your own business.
You're telling your own business.
And actually, when you're talking about family, that actually reminds me of that one comedian. He's very famous now. His name is, it's not Chris, but he's very short.
Kevin Hart? He's short.
Yes, Kevin Hart. So, because I know his daughter, and this has happened to other comedians where their family members like, hey, that wasn't funny. I don't appreciate being a part of your skit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're in their feelings about it. Like, anytime you're talking about someone, even if they are your family member, like I said originally, like, people are entitled to not find something funny. And there are lots of things where it's not your place to share that with the world. Like, that's not your story, and you ain't got no business telling other people that. And I feel like comedians do definitely have a...
But comedians...
Their spouses and their family members and other people's stories, and they don't know if, they don't know or haven't really asked them, like, is it okay for me to talk about that?
Now, when I talk about things that happen, because these are life events, these things may have happened in public and occurred. And I'm not even going to say just I'm going to say we collectively have talked about somebody else's issue, in conversation, or we know somebody that happened to, and you'll hear me say, don't say the name, just to protect, because I'll say something that actually is a true event, and I'm not going to disclose their name just to protect them. But as a comedian, we go for that relief. We go for that comedic relief. And if you have to sit there and censor a comedian, their job will just dissipate, because I go for the laughter, for the relief, to see what's in common, because most times everybody got a family member that is off the chain. And you be like, this clown, let me tell you what happened. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And I might say a cousin, but I got a whole bunch of them. So y'all got to figure out who it is. I won't just put their name there, but you'll hear a cousin. You'll hear me talk about my sister, which is hilarious because she is off the chain. Hilarious. When we used to play church. Hilarious. But I'll say that, and you'll hear me talk about my children. And they might feel some type of way, but it is the truth. So if I'm speaking truth, what's the problem with the truth? People aren't ready to be transparent. And then you see the similarities. You be like, yeah, my child might have did that. And then you find it funny. But my children know me. So my thing is, don't be out here acting like that, because I'm going to tell you the whole truth. And it might be, if it's something that's embarrassing to them, you should have made better decisions. Because I brought mine up. And me personally, make good decisions. All the time I would say that. Make good decisions. Where did I get that from? I got that from my grandfather. He didn't say those words, exactly. What he said is pretty much summing it up. Whatever decision you make sure you can live with it. And that's how I live my life. And another thing that you were speaking to, Amber, as far as like people coming on, since we have this platform of social media, coming on and pretending, the great pretender. And I say, you have people who post what they supposed to be, but it's not the truth. You got to speak truth. And the way that you inspire people is speaking your truth. And that's how other people heal. Don't sit there and be faking the funk. I'm doing A, B, C, and D and this and that because you want the accolades or whatever it is. Nobody want to hear your braggadocious comments or speech that you have or post. Let us know if you're going to have that and you want to talk about the accolades. Tell us how you got there. Let us know that, guess what? I did have some roadblocks. But keep going if you want to inspire somebody. But just to sit up there and you want to flash the money and all that other stuff. Okay, tell us the consequences of this money. And even for my young people that's in the drug game, tell me the job description. You in the drug game and you out here flashing your money. And guess what? You the duffel bag boy. Problem. That I wouldn't be plastering. Who want to be the duffel bag boy, the runner? I want to be the top dog if I'm going to be in the game. But here's the thing. Tell them the job description. What's in the job description of a dope dealer? Jail or death? That's in the job description. So whatever you decide to do, look at the complete job description. And don't be just posting that out there, because you have people that will follow you. You have people that will believe you 110%, and you're a lie, you're a fraud. And these little people are coming up and they're looking at you like, oh, I want to do that. No, I believe everyone who has a platform, you have a responsibility. And that responsibility is to make people better. I'm telling you. Or if you're going to be sitting there lying, you need to put a little banner across the bottom and be like, now some of this might be some lies, so don't take it personal.
Well, that's what that, what is it, for entertainment purposes?
Oh, yeah, do something. Put that on there. That's what I say. Art got a new one. Yeah, Shakespeare did say that. To thy own self be true. Because if you lying to yourself, you can't move. If you need if you have a mental issue, let me say that, because I told y'all all of us are mental, and deal with mental issues. But if you have a mental illness, that's different. And that's what they were trying to put on Will. I said, no, that was a mental breakdown. And he just lost it for a minute, I believe, because I think that I know him, which I don't. But I believe that I know him. I'm like, no, he don't act like that. I.e. Whitney Houston. We believe we knew her. She was America's sweetheart. And then we look like, oh, wait a minute, who is that? Were we disappointed? We were disappointed because we projected how she should be. Until she did that Bobby Brown show. She's like, Bobby! We're like, oh, wait a minute.
She showed us that's how she really is.
She showed us who she was. So being on those reality shows, people want to do it. And they like, oh, wait a minute. It's a different misconception. I believe it was Chriselle Michette. Am I messing it up? Michelle Crissette or something like that. Her, the singer. Crissette.
Michelle.
There you go. Can sing her butt off. She was on a reality show, R&B something. I can't remember which one it was, but she was on there. And guess what? We have an image that we actually put these people in these boxes. And then when we see them, we like, oh wait, you're a spoiled brat. And if you're in that field of entertainment, your objective is to sell albums. Well, now we look at your personality.
You talk about R&B divas, that was Michelle.
No, that's not. I'm talking about Chrisette Michelle, but I can't remember the show. But with her, and I watched it, I saw her personality. Guess what? I was no longer a fan. And I believe, don't quote me on it, I think it was her mom that didn't want her to do the show. Her mother knew who she was. And she did it, and we wasn't feeling it. Well, look, me and my other people that's on this side and this side on my shoulders, we weren't feeling it. I stopped buying her albums. So when you
do reality TV, that does taint your image, because you're bringing the person into who you really are, and you're messing up the image that they have for you, and that image that they have for you that we perceive how this person is, and that's what makes us like them, the way they sing and this and that. But when you do a reality show, I think the reality TV sometimes is career sabotage.
It is
100% of the time, I think.
Okay, and seeing that's where I'm like, no, don't be following me.
Actually, but we didn't know who she was before.
Who?
Cardi B.
Right, but she was coming up. She was coming up in it.
How she is.
Right, but guess what? And guess what? Her coming up in it and her being wild, talking about robbing cats, why they go to sleep and all that. It's not a disappointment because we watched her. But when you have people that do the reality shows, especially in the entertainment industry, and you're doing your thing and you're trying to brand yourself because it's all about the brand, you got to watch that. And then they see, just like I told y'all, I'll support some people and they probably got something that I don't even want, but just out of personality, customer service, I'll support you based off that. I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll go buy something. I don't even know who could use it, as a gift, just because of who you are. But if you're rude and arrogant and all that other stuff, I'll be like, oh, I don't even want to even support you. Why should I help you get rich? You treat people like dirt. You know what I mean? You just don't want to do that, but you do want to be true. All right, lovely people, that is my time. I'm going to give you today's footnote. Today's footnote is the comment. Art Baldwin, thank you so much. Today's footnote is to thy own self be true. And that's Shakespeare. And it's just be who you are. So find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people. Shop talk.